It is February 4th, 1983, and a woman is dying on the floor of a Shamrock gas station in Corpus Christi, Texas. She has managed to dial 911. Through the open line, a dispatcher hears her gasping, pleading, whispering that a man has stabbed her. Her name is Wanda Lopez. She is 24 years old, and in a few minutes, she will be dead. Within the hour, police will have a suspect in handcuffs. They believe they have caught their killer. They are wrong, and that mistake will cost an innocent man his life. Wanda Lopez works the overnight shift alone at a Shamrock gas station on South Padre Island Drive, a busy stretch of road that cuts through the working-class neighborhoods of Corpus Christi. She is young, responsible, trying to make ends meet. On this particular night, a man walks into the station carrying a knife. There is a brief struggle. Wanda picks up the phone and calls for help. On the recording, you can hear her terror, her voice fading in and out. Officers are already in the area. A man named Kevin Baker, sitting in his car across the street, sees a male figure leave the gas station and begin walking briskly away. Baker radios it in. Police fan out, and within 40 minutes, they find someone hiding under a pickup truck a few blocks away. His name is Carlos DeLuna. He is 20 years old, shirtless, sweating, and frightened. He is about to become the centerpiece of one of the most catastrophic miscarriages of justice in American history. Baker is brought to the scene. Under the glow of patrol car lights, he identifies DeLuna as the man he saw leaving the station. But Baker only caught a brief glimpse of the figure from across a 4-lane road at night. He never saw the man's face clearly. No matter. Police have their suspect. DeLuna is arrested and charged with the murder of Wanda Lopez. From the very first interrogation, DeLuna tells anyone who will listen the same story. He says he did not kill Wanda Lopez. He says a man named Carlos Hernandez did it. He describes Hernandez in detail. He says Hernandez is well known in the neighborhood, that he carries a knife, that he is dangerous. DeLuna says he was in the area that night, that he saw Hernandez near the station, and that when the police arrived, he panicked and ran because he had outstanding warrants. He hid under the truck, not because he was guilty of murder, but because he was afraid. Investigators do not seriously pursue the lead. They run a cursory check on the name Carlos Hernandez, and come back claiming they cannot find anyone matching the description. This is remarkable because Carlos Hernandez is not a ghost. He lives in the same neighborhood as DeLuna. He has a criminal record. He looks strikingly similar to DeLuna. Same height, same build, same dark hair, same complexion. People in the community sometimes confuse the two men. But none of this matters, because the Corpus Christi police have already decided who their killer is. The case goes to trial in 1983. DeLuna's court-appointed defense is underfunded and overwhelmed. His attorneys do attempt to raise the Carlos Hernandez defense, but they lack the resources to investigate it properly. They cannot locate Hernandez. They cannot produce him in court. The prosecution seizes on this. In closing arguments, the state tells the jury that Carlos Hernandez is a phantom, a fabrication, a convenient invention by a guilty man trying to escape justice. Prosecutors say he simply does not exist. The jury deliberates. They convict Carlos DeLuna of capital murder. He is sentenced to death. For 6 years, DeLuna sits on death row. He writes letters. He maintains his innocence. He keeps saying the same name. Carlos Hernandez. Carlos Hernandez. Carlos Hernandez. Nobody listens. On December 7th, 1989, The state of Texas executes Carlos DeLuna by lethal injection. His last words are that he is innocent, that he did not kill Wanda Lopez. And then the case goes quiet for more than 2 decades. Until a professor at Columbia Law School named James Liebman assigns the DeLuna case to his students as a research exercise. What begins as an academic project becomes a 5-year investigation involving dozens of researchers, hundreds of interviews, and thousands of documents. What they find is devastating. Carlos Hernandez was real. He lived blocks from the gas station. He had a long, documented history of violent knife attacks against women. He had been arrested multiple times. Neighbors, friends, even members of his own family knew him as a dangerous man who carried a buck knife everywhere he went. And here is the detail that turns this case from a tragedy into something unforgivable. Multiple people reported that Hernandez bragged openly about killing Wanda Lopez. He told friends. He told drinking companions. He reportedly told people that he had gotten away with it because some other guy took the fall. Hernandez was never charged. He died in prison in 1999 while serving time for an unrelated assault on a woman with a knife. The Columbia investigation publishes its findings in 2012 in an exhaustive report titled Los Tocayos Carlos, meaning the 2 Carloses who share a name. The report details how the police failed to investigate DeLuna's claims, how fingerprints from the crime scene were never properly tested, how a bloody footprint at the gas station did not match DeLuna, how the single eyewitness identification was unreliable at best, how the prosecution knowingly or recklessly told a jury that a real, documentable human being did not exist. The evidence is overwhelming. Texas almost certainly executed an innocent man. No one in law enforcement has ever been held accountable. No official apology has been issued. The state of Texas has never acknowledged the findings. Carlos DeLuna's family has received no compensation, no recognition, nothing. The case remains one of the most thoroughly documented wrongful executions in modern American history, and yet it has changed almost nothing about how Texas administers the death penalty. Carlos DeLuna was 27 years old when he died. He had a 6th grade education. He had no money for a proper defense. He had the terrible misfortune of sharing a name, a face, and a neighborhood with a violent man who actually committed the crime. And the system that was supposed to protect him instead killed him. So I want to ask you something. If one case this well documented cannot bring accountability, what does that tell us about the cases we have not investigated yet? If this story stayed with you, subscribe and turn on notifications. The next case we cover will challenge everything you think you know about how guilt is determined in this country.